when it comes to local SEO, there is a whole bunch of nonsense out there on the internet, and it can be pretty difficult to sort through what's real and what's just simply fluff. In today's video, I really want to talk about how SEO has been evolving, what changes you can expect, and if you, as a business owner, if you feel like your website traffic or just the leads that you've generated through Google have tapered off over time, this video is specifically going to be for you. So by no means is SEO dead. It is changing. So don't get me wrong, SEO is 100% evolving. I would even go as far to argue that traditional SEO on its own, it's not enough anymore. So that model is dying. But with the right strategy, local SEO is still a great way to build a really, really strong marketing asset through your website and through your Google page. So let's just take a look here at Google and let's see what the SERP returns. For example, I'll just start off by looking up roofers in, let's go, Milwaukee. Immediately, what do you notice here on the SERP? Above the fold, so in the marketing world, we'll refer to the fold simply as what you can see without having to scroll. So anything that's above the fold is what you're looking at as soon as the SERP returns its results. So when I search in the keyword roofers in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, what I'm immediately getting here, if you notice, is sponsored results covering the entire page above the fold. So right here, I'm met with Google Guaranteed, or also known as your local service ads. So think of this as your Google My Business or your Google Business profile, except it's on a pay per lead or a sponsored model with Google. So these two businesses here, they actually pay Google. If I were to come in here and message or call, they would get charged maybe 50, 70, 100. It just depends on the industry and also the location, but they would get charged on a pay per lead model for me to reach out to this business. So now let's scroll down. And you're going to see here your more traditional Google search ad, right? So this business is paying for its website to get displayed here on Google. Scroll down a little bit further, and now we're finally getting to some of those organic results, what a lot of consumers are more familiar with, which is our Google Maps pack. So this is the local 3-pack. The local 3-pack just refers to the top 3 businesses that are ranking here on Google. So we got 1, 2, and 3. Again, these are the 3 businesses that are above the fold as it relates to the actual Google business section on Google. So if I were to click more businesses here, I'm obviously going to be met with a whole bunch more companies. But again, those companies are all under the fold. So one of these 3 spots here is really like the dreamland for where you want your business to be, because compared to the other businesses up top, while they're going to get a lot of traffic by paying Google for these top spots, they're paying for that traffic. So whether it's the search ads or whether it's the pay per lead model with the local service ads, they're essentially paying Google to get displayed and to get business here at the top. Where if I were to come through and I were to click on standard roofing and restoration and I were to give them a call, it would cost them $0. So I could book a call with them, or I could, ask them to come out, give me an estimate. They look at my roof. It's going to be an $18,000 project, right? That $18,000 customer, it costed standard roofing and restoration $0. Whereas if you're paying to be in one of those spots, same scenario, I might click on modern exterior here and I might go ahead and hit get phone number. But because this is a sponsored result, they're going to be paying for that traffic. And so it might take, 4 or 5 leads for them to actually finally convert one job. And they could still see a really great return. They could spend a couple $100s for, a 5-figure roofing job. But with that being said, in the other way, where if you're just ranking locally through your organic local 3-pack, it costs you $0. And so this really is the dreamland for all businesses. But then as you scroll down, what you'll notice is you are now finally seeing the organic website results that are getting returned to us. And what's interesting about this is there's even more sponsored results here at the bottom on the Google SERP. And for those of you that don't know, SERP just stands for Search Engine Results Page. So you'll hear me use that term a lot. But essentially think of the SERP as just you look something up and a page populates on Google. That is the SERP. There's a few sponsored results here at the bottom of the page as well. So really, we only have, as it relates to websites, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it looks like we're looking at just 9 organic website results on that first page of Google. So previously, let's say you're ranking number 10 for roofers in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Your website's ranking number 10, right? In the old world of traditional SEO, where the SERP used to just look like this, where it would maybe have some businesses, it might have a sponsored result or two, but then all of a sudden you'd have all the organic results. You can see that Google's really trying to incentivize its customers, which are you guys, right? People that spend money on Google ads. It's trying to incentivize you to spend money with Google, right? They want you running ads. That's how they make money, is through ad revenue. And so that either comes through these local service ads or it comes through these Google search ads. So now let's talk about which one of these is better and if you should even explore one of these options. So for all of our clients, which at Grandir, we have a little over 70 active clients right now, I would say a little over half of them choose to run these local service ads through us, just because it is such an easy and high margin way to get leads. In the world where you could do a million different things, right? You could be on Yelp, you could run newspaper ads, you could run meta ads. There's a million different ways to try to get some real leads coming through. These Google guaranteed or these local service ads are going to be some of the highest ROI leads that you're going to get for a number of reasons. So the first reason that these local service ads are so great is that when someone calls or messages you looking to get an estimate or to work with you, only then do you get charged. And the nice thing about that too is, let's say that somebody comes through here and messages you or calls you and they're trying to sell you something. They're trying to sell you marketing services, or it's spam. It's someone from another country, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have gotten those leads coming in before. Google's actually able to record the entire phone call or revisit the message that has been sent. And what you can do is you can actually dispute this to get your money back. So essentially what this is doing is it's driving not only a higher volume of leads, but also higher quality leads. Because if those leads they're fake, they're not accurate, they're spam, you're going to get your money back. And one thing that a lot of our clients at Grandir like is we actually go through the process with Google on their behalf to make sure we dispute any phone call that comes through that's just spam. It saves our clients a ton of time because we just go ahead and do that for them. But that is one thing to think about as far as trying to keep your cost per lead as low as possible, is you can dispute a lot of those spam calls. In these more traditional Google search ads, the issue with these search ads is that it's very, very expensive to run these search ads these days. And what happens with these search ads is if someone clicks here, right, on a pay-per-click model, I just clicked in, this business maybe just got charged a few dollars or something, right? But now you need to have a really strong website that's going to work to still convert me to reach out to get that estimate, right? So you're basically paying for several spins to try to eventually hope that your website is performing at a high enough rate that it's going to convert me that came through that paid traffic. As you can see here, the SERP is changing. So that's really the whole point of this video. And so if you are really looking to get found and to improve your local SEO, there is a different approach than the old traditional approach that you need to get really good at or hire someone to do for you. And that is what I'm about to go through here. So you have your local service ads, right? We advise just about all of our clients to seriously consider running these local service ads because it is a very low risk way of generating more leads. And what that's going to do is it's going to get your business ranking here immediately through paid traffic for pay per lead at the top of Google. Second, we tell them to really put a lot of their time and energy into optimizing these Google pages, because again, this is free traffic. If you want to talk about building sustainable marketing systems that are going to continue to grow, whether you're working with a company, you're doing things on your own, you're exiting the business, right? These are sustainable marketing systems that if you're ranking on Google's organic local 3-pack and the organics map pack, you don't have to pay Google. You are just getting consistent website clicks, phone calls. If you have a brick and mortar location, people getting directions to your business. And it's, like I mentioned, it's sustainable. And third, we look to get you in the top 3 here with your website as well. So we'll have another video on that, but basically making sure you have the right service pages built out on your website, you have the right header tags, you have really strong copy, you have relevant images. All of those different factors that go into where your website ranks are going to be important as well, but they're not the most important thing anymore. So in a perfect world, right, imagine you are a roofer in Milwaukee, just like I'm looking for here. What you want to do is when someone searches this, you want to show up here in the local service ads section. You want to show up here again in the local 3-pack organically. And then you want to show up here again with your website. And that's how you're going to be able to capture 30, 40, or even maybe 50% or more of the search traffic of people looking for roofers in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. All right, so this is really just an overview of how the SERP's been changing, but just like everything else in the marketing world, change happens all the time. So the SERP has been evolving for the last several years. I know plenty of successful businesses who they used to actually win 50% or more of their business off of their website. And I've seen them kind of taper off because they failed to be adaptable and keep up with the times and change with the SERP as Google changes as well. With that being said, I've also seen some smaller, newer companies really just crush it because they were able to figure this out faster than a lot of other companies. Either them doing it on their own or them working with a company like us to take care of this for them. Work on getting your local maps pack ranking, work on getting your website built out properly. And if you need help on how to do either of those two things, you can click on the video down here and it'll talk more about the factors that go into ranking your Google business profile.